For me?
Have a good night.
All right, boss.
Good night, Governor. Good night.
Yeah.
Stay beautiful.
Wow, honestly, just like that.
No. How come out of all the products that ladies can sell, you chose to sell wine when you can sell bag, shoe, or perfume, or something else?
Or vibrators.
You say what?
Yeah, vibrators. So will you help me sell them or not?
No. We will stick to the wine. Yeah? We will sell wine. So why you let me know about this? Any special cuts for me or any?
Yes, your cut is 50%. Let me break it down for you. If you sell 10,000,
Okay.
you get 5K, I take 5K.
Okay.
So on each bottle you sell, 50% for you and 50% for me. That's the deal.
When did you start becoming mathematical like this? You, this girl, you just have a way of getting to me. That's why I love you, my sweet Kafaya too.
Ramonu.
Who is Ramonu?
So it's Kafaya too.
So it's what? You know what? Let's just stick to this wine idea. 48 hours from now, you'll get all your money back. Oh, no. Trust me. My real lovers cannot wait to get this online.
No stories. Raymond.
Huh?
No stories.
As long as you don't call me Ramon.
Deal. And call me Kafi.
Now everybody knows I'm the man. Ooh, I'm the man. Ooh,
Enjoy the reward that sharing brings with the Airtel Family Plan. Get bonus talk time, SMS, and data for each family member you share with. Dial *141# now.
now everybody knows I'm the man. Hey.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
No. No, that will not work. It can't go for that price, sir. Okay, but, okay, first I'll move the 3 payloaders and 1 excavator to the new site so they can commence work as soon as possible, so we'll just keep things rolling. Oh, really? Oh, fantastic then, fantastic. It's all right, so you can go ahead and tell Mr. Mampri that, oh, he's aware. Oh, then everything is in check then. We don't need to worry ourselves. Let's just go relax while work is being done. Oh, fantastic, fantastic. All right. I'll talk to you later on then. All right. Hi, guys.
Hi.
What's up?
Sorry, I saw your several missed calls and I was going to return them. But, you know, these days I'm so choked up with work. It's like if the governor doesn't see me, nothing will be done. That's by the way anyway. What's up?
We want a house of our own. Really? Papa J, I thought you were never interested in anything Showboy here has to offer.
We will not squat for the rest of our lives now, will we, Papa?
Audrey? Please go see who's calling. I want to believe he's one of those I want a home people. Just attend to it, okay? So, my man, Papi J, what kind of house do you say you wanted again?
A duplex will be okay. Just something simple for me and my future wife.
So what will not happen to me?
That means you have a cool million to path away with.
I'm sorry to interrupt, guys. You guys would have to excuse me. I'm feeling a bit parched. I'd like to get some water.
All right, don't worry. The commissioner will get back to you. Thank you. Hello.
Hi. So I was thinking, if Showboy isn't the commissioner, I'm sure you won't turn down an opportunity to work for me, would you?
You're doing a very great job. Working for yourself and on yourself. I must confess, you've got a great body.
Gee, thanks. I honestly did not see that one coming. I mean, the way you twisted the conversation. That's kind of
Okay,
good.
so what do you do? I mean, I could just consider working for you in the nearest future. You don't know.
Well, I'm into real estate.
Ah. So, why are you not taking full advantage of what my boss is offering? Who knows, you might be so successful in the nearest future. Then I have a good reason to work with you.
That's true. You know, I never really thought about that.
Really?
You're smart. I like
Thank you.
that. You know what? How about I take you out for drinks?
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to need something soft, just like a flat.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe just for the flat rate,
That's a good idea.
You see, the future is bright. I think I can make use of your properties. Well, we'll continue this later. I need to speak with your current boss.
No problem. I need to go now. See you some other time.
Sure, boy. I'm kind of interested in this Own Your Home program you talked about. So what do I have to do to own my own estate?
Brilliant question, my friend. All you need to do is submit the C of O of a building you already own and voila.
Okay. Cool. Can Audrey here come pick the C of O of this house tomorrow?
Shege.
This house belongs to your uncle. Well, that's not a problem. He really doesn't like this house. I mean, he abandoned it. Well, come to think of it, what if I make it something bigger? All I have to do is talk to my mom, and then she in turn talks to her brother, and it's a done deal. That's it.
Shege. I like this man. He thinks like a billionaire.
Showboy, shut up there!
You don't talk to the commissioner like that.
And young lady, you don't talk to my boyfriend like that.
Dorothy! Relax. It doesn't have to come to this.
Well, Shage, I think it has come to this already. I will not sit here and be humiliated by your words. Don't forget you're talking to a commissioner. As far as I'm concerned, from this moment forth, I'm no longer interested in doing business with any of you. Shage, if you're still interested in becoming the owner of an estate, then I'll have to connect you and Audrey here to see how we can finalize things. On that note, I'll leave. I will not be insulted further. I'll take my leave.
Oh, sure, boy.
Audrey? Yeah. Sure boy, I'm sorry. Commissioner.
You
You want to get duplex, you know things matter. My small flat rate. You put contour inside that.
I will take you do rituals, stay by the house.
Sing
Eku dede asiko yi eyin wa esikabo sí yàrá ìròyìn Fọlákẹ́mi Adésọ̀nà Abina ni orúkọ tèmi ńjẹ́.
Onye akụkọ wa nketa bụ Omenka Amarachukwu na nketa.
Masu kallo assalamu alaikum barkanmu da zagayowar ranar samun yancin kai.
Hooray! NTA language is 10. 10 years of qualitative broadcast in our local languages, popularizing our language, promoting our indigenous culture, food, costume, art, monuments of our core moral and ethic values. Come, celebrate with us and help propel our indigenous language to greater heights. A win for the elevation of our local languages is a win for us all.
Everything is architected and designed by the Almighty.
Someone who is a Christian is someone who lives a life of Jesus Christ. And the life of Jesus Christ is a life of sacrifice.
Yes.
This vaccine is safe and it has been.
This is Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Lami Ali.
President Muhammadu Buhari has formally broken his silence on demand in some quarters for unconditional release of the prescribed IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, currently standing trial, saying doing so runs contrary to the doctrine of separation of powers. This was while receiving a grip under the auspices of highly respected Igbo great leaders led by the First Republic parliamentarian and Minister of Aviation, Chief Mbazuluke Amechi. Details of the report will come your way in our subsequent bulletin. Now, the presidency has formally reacted to the removal of Nigeria from the religious violators watch list by the Biden-led U.S. administration in the run-up to the visit of Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, calling it a triumph of diplomacy and sagacity over hate-driven foreign policy, itself founded on false propaganda. The United States says it has a belief that Africa will shape the future of the world with the enormous potentials endowed in the continent and partnerships with global economic players. United States Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said this while speaking as the ECO Secretariat in Abuja. Foreign Desk correspondent Usman Aliu reports.
The United States doesn't want to limit your partnerships with other countries. We want to make your partnerships with us even stronger. We don't want to make you choose. We want to give you choices.
That is the new thinking of America under the Biden's administration about Africa and Nigeria, which is seen as a new development force that should not be ignored and has to be emphasized in America's foreign policy.
This is a continent of young people, energized, innovative, hungry for jobs and opportunity. By 2025, more than half the population of Africa will be under age 25. By the year 2050, 1 in 4 people on Earth will be African. And Nigeria will surpass the United States as the 3rd most populous country in the world.
But that is if Nigeria and Africa hold on to the development aspirations, focusing on new energy from the youth, the green economy, sustainable democracy and good governance, as explained by Secretary Blinken.
We need to show how democracies can deliver what citizens want, quickly and effectively. When we fail to do that, people lose their trust in the democratic model. And that fuels the arguments that authoritarian governments make, that their system is better.
And for the global health security, the United States says so far it has offered 50 million doses to 43 African countries and is supporting equality in supplies and production of the vaccines in the continent.
Increasing vaccine production in Africa makes it easier to distribute them, which saves lives.
America also believes that the global community must step up responses to the climate crisis to contain catastrophes such as drought and desertification causing food shortage in sub-Saharan Africa. Usman Aliu, NTA News.
Now, the Federal High Court, Abuja, has dismissed a suit instituted against the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, on the monitoring of spending of the $300 million recovered from the late former head of state, late General Sani Abacha. Justice Inyangeku, while delivering judgments in the suit, held that all public documents tendered by the plaintiffs were worthless because they contravened sections of Evidence Act 2011. Justice Eko held thus the plaintiffs failed to certify the public documents as required by law and therefore inadmissible in law. The suit was instituted by PPP Advisories, Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, and One Isa Shoaibu. Dr. Paul Adaliku has emerged as the new Secretary General of the Maritime Organization of West and Central Africa. He was elected in the just concluded election during the ordinary session of the General Assembly of the organization in Accra, Ghana this evening. Dr. Adaliku pledged to keep the terms and work for the revival of the organization. The Minister of State for Transportation, Senator Gbemisola Rukaya Saraki, who led the Nigerian delegation, acknowledged the solidarity of the West African countries and says a complete re-engineering of the maritime domain within West and Central Africa is expected with the emergence of Dr. Adaliku, especially with what COVID-19 has caused. And as Venezuelans count down to the country's November 21st regional and municipal elections, the citizens have expressed high expectations from the would-be elected leaders. Our correspondent, Uyemi Ajayi, is in Venezuela and has this report.
It is the last day of campaign in Venezuela as contenders try to gather more support to earn them victory. 348 seats need to be occupied, comprising of 325 municipalities and 23 regions. One of such battlefields of contest is the Miranda State under the Caracas municipality. It is the last bastion of campaign at the Petare region, one of the biggest slums in Venezuela, meaning their votes matter. Hector Rodriguez is one of the contenders and a member of the PSUV, which is the United Socialist Party of Venezuela, a party of the incumbent president Nicolas Maduro. He is soliciting more support from the people as he reels out his plans and campaign promises to them.
Respect this election, help continue building of the peace in our country. All the opposition factors are participating.
We have the best and more secure electoral system in the world. Said by the Carter Center said that in 2005. We have the more secure, the more efficient, and the more transparent electoral system in the world.
The campaign gave the foreign observers the window to see what the electoral process looks like in Venezuela, with the impression of peace in most cases.
For the past few days, we have noticed that there are no issues of violence, and the people are really cooperating with the electoral body in the conduct of the election.
With the end of electoral campaigns, the people seem expectant for a peaceful election on Sunday, November 21st, with the hope of elected candidates fulfilling their promises, especially those made at the point where the symbol of uprightness and honesty stands. From Caracas, Venezuela, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
We told you earlier that the presidency has formally reacted to the removal of Nigeria from the religious violators watch list by the Biden-led U.S. administration in the run-up to the visit of Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, calling it a triumph of diplomacy and sagacity over hate-driven foreign policy, itself founded on false propaganda. Here is the report.
In an article written by Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, President Muhammadu Buhari and the Nigerian people are satisfied with the U.S. decision to remove Nigeria from that unwanted list of countries, with U.S. Secretary of State Blinken saying the decision of the Joe Biden government is, quote, based on facts. In expressing the country's appreciation for this, the president notes that there is freedom of worship in Nigeria and no one is discriminated against on the basis of his or her religion. The article explains Nigeria should never have been on the list and calls the ban sad and uncalled for and based on 12 months of lies by some extremist groups, including the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, which funded right-wing lobbyists in the U.S. to spread falsehood and misinformation about Nigeria. Those who willingly took money from terrorists spread falsehood against a democratically elected government. They took advantage of well-meaning, God-fearing Americans to whom they spread lies. Their aim was to drive a wedge for political advantage between the two great religions, and by doing so, make true their fake claims that Muslims and Christians cannot live side by side in love and peace. Yet, it has taken only 11 months for this decision to be reversed increased under the Biden administration. It is a fallacy to suggest Nigeria lacks religious freedom. It is one of the most religious nations in the world, near equally balanced between Muslims and Christians. A visit to any city will show many posters for religious groups. Personal friends, many global Christian leaders, though himself a Muslim.
Now, the federal government is not compromising the safety and standards of COVID-19 vaccines, as it will not continue to keep adopting measures geared towards protecting citizens and stopping the spread of the virus. Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19, Boss Mustafa, said this as the national flag-off of the COVID-19 mass vaccination campaign in Abuja. Olusegun Adiagbo has the report.
More than 6 million Nigerians have so far been vaccinated with the first dose of COVID-19 vaccines, but that is put at just 5.6% of the country's entire population, a data still far from the set target of vaccinating at least 50% of the country's population by the end of January 2022. This national COVID-19 mass vaccination campaign is the latest drive of the federal government for deployment of vaccines to control the virus.
It is important to mention that through this mass COVID vaccination campaign initiative, arrangements have been made to ease all known bottlenecks to access, because the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency has expanded vaccination sites. This vaccination is free because government remains conscious of its responsibility to safeguard the health of our people.
Our aim is to have vaccinated 55 million residents of Nigeria by the end of January 2022, which is about 50% of our target population.
I came to the Federal Secretariat today and I saw a flag-off banner of the COVID-19 vaccination. So that was why I came in to partake in it.
Between now and the first quarter of 2022, we have been able to secure up to 100 million doses of the vaccines. But even beyond what has been committed, we are also aware that additional donations are coming.
The advice is that Nigerians who are yet to receive the COVID-19 vaccine should register to get protected and protect others around them. In Abuja, Olusegun Adiagbo, NTA News.
And still on the COVID-19 vaccine, the Federal Capital Territory Administration has flagged off mass vaccination campaign against the spread of COVID-19 pandemic, targeting more than 1.5 million residents in the next 50 days across the 6 area councils. FCT Minister of State Ramatu Tijani Aliyu, while performing the exercise at the Old Parade Ground in Abuja, noted that the rapid spread of the virus needs an aggressive response to contain the infection and protect residents. Ifangi Ezumba reports.
Assuring residents that the administration is taking up the challenge of improving on routine immunization, disease surveillance outbreak, preparedness and response services, as well as strengthening the primary health care scheme implementation in the FCT. FCT Minister of State Ramatu Tijani Aliyu revealed that with the receipt of donated high-quality medical equipment worth over $700,000, the equipment would contribute immensely to improve quality of healthcare services.
It is pertinent to note also that financing primary healthcare has improved steadily in the FCT appropriation from 2019. We have specifically recorded over 30% increase this year over previous year's funding provision. That means better healthcare delivery service in the Federal Capital Territory.
FCT Permanent Secretary Olusegun Adeshola reiterated that the administration would continue to enforce the no mask, no entry restrictions at public places and regular hand washing campaign.
We should all be aware by now that COVID-19 vaccination is like building a defensive barrier against an offensive and violent enemy. This is why mass vaccination campaigns such as the one we are performing today has become absolutely necessary.
The vaccination has been certified by WHO to be safe. Goodwill messages were delivered by development partners, traditional rulers, and chairmen of area councils. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Izumba, NT News.
And still on health matters, the Ministries of Environment and Water Resources are joining forces with relevant bodies to renew commitments to end open defecation in Nigeria by the year 2025. This was at an event in Abuja to commemorate World Toilet Day, where government is also wooing the private sector to invest in the toilet and sanitation business.
Sanitation, like I said, is everybody's business. And it can also be a business. Investment in sanitation yields fivefold return on investment. If you invest on sanitation, we're talking in terms of Naira and Kobo, but in terms of so many benefits. And also as a major tool to combat the COVID-19 pandemic and the current serious epidemic that we have of cholera.
We are going to improve and increase our surveillance system. We are also going to start naming and shaming. Maybe we'll try to get the TVs, the radio stations, when we visit some bad places, to show it to the world, so that maybe that will improve and make people sit up.
This collaborative event is the first of its kind to draw attention of the public to the dangers of open defecation to the well-being of the citizens. Now, to sustain the conversation on World Toilet Day, I have with me in the studio Mrs. Rita Azuka.
Thank you.
Now, she is the head Environmental Health and Sanitation Division, Ministry of Environment. Now, let us begin this way. There are reports of 3.6 billion people globally who do not have access to proper sanitation and toilets. Now, looking at our Nigerian environment, what measures is the organization putting in place to change the narrative?
Thank you very much. The Federal Minister of Environment is putting so much effort to see that about 47 million Nigerians who defecate in the open have toilets and use it. And some of these efforts is geared towards curbing the health challenges that come with defecating in the open. Recently, in Nigeria, about 32 states are currently battling with cholera outbreak, and all these are some of the outcome of defecating in the open. So the Federal Minister of Environment, in order to curb this menace, have a policy in place, National Environmental Sanitation Policy, with implementation guideline on excreta and sewage management. And it is expected that this policy, if well implemented by states and local governments, this open defecation will go down. And also, the ministry is in charge of environmental health officers in Nigeria. And the open defecation free Nigeria can only come to be if the services of environmental health officers are engaged. They are the only people that are empowered to enforce public health law. They are empowered to enter premises at any time from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the evening to enforce public health law, to abet nuisances that could be of public health, and anything that could be an environmental hazard to people.
Now, there is a national target of ending open defecation by the year 2025. Now, how far with that program? What is the state of that national target?
Okay, like if I can remember, in 2019, even Mr. President backed it up by signing Executive Order 009 to ensure that open defecation in Nigeria is ended by 2025. And in that regards, we are carrying out sensitization, because even if you build toilets and people don't know the meaning of using toilets. They will still not use it. Some people prefer to defecate in the bush because it's more convenient to them. So what we are trying to do is to build behavioral change around open defecation, to sensitize the Nigerian populace, the communities. We do a lot of sensitization. We also have desk officers in the 36 ministries of environment that also right today carry on a lot of awareness and sensitization to tell people, to let people know the importance of owning toilet and using it and maintaining it. So this is practically what we are doing right now. The sensitization will continue to go on. Toilets, provision of toilets by the ministry, maybe public toilets in communities continue to go on. And also, the ministry cannot do it alone. We're also begging on the private sectors, NGOs, partners to come together. All of us, everybody put hands together, we rise together. I think we'll be able to sort this problem.
Now, when COVID-19 came upon us, so many non-pharmaceutical protocols were put in place to arrest the spread of the pandemic. Would you say that also has contributed in reducing open defecation?
Yes, it has, because those non-pharmaceutical measures were really, especially like hand washing, encouraging people to wash hands. Before the COVID-19, we have been doing a lot of advocacy sensitization on issues around hand washing, but people don't really understand. But during this COVID-19, because of the impact, the effect the COVID-19 had on the citizens, and Nigerians were told to wash their hands, everybody embraced it, and it has really helped. Yes.
We thank you very much, Mrs. Rita Zuka, for the additional information on World Day to Prevent Open Defecation. We thank you very much. Now, moving on to other stories, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Muhammad Musa Bello, has assured the leadership of the FCT wing of the Nigerian Union of Teachers of the administration's resolve to pay all outstanding promotion arrears of teachers before the end of the year. The minister gave the assurance during an emergency meeting with the union in Abuja. Nozi Yakubu tells us more.
Following the commencement of the 5-day warning strike by the FCT wing of the Nigerian Union of Teachers to press home their demands for enhanced security in schools and payment of arrears of promotion benefits, FCT Minister Muhammad Musa Bello chaired an emergency meeting with the leadership of the union. The minister told the union members that the administration will soon commence payment of the 2017 arrears between November and December this year. FCTA Permanent Secretary Olushade Adeshola spoke after the meeting.
The 2017 is scheduled for payment in the month of November, while the Honorable Minister directed that the teaching staff, payment for teaching staff in 2018 promotion areas should be prioritized. We are looking at that seriously so that the issue of promotion areas for this category of workforce can be settled once and for all.
From this meeting, we are going back to the house. We'll meet together, and we assure you that with all the resolutions, we will go back to the classroom without waste of time.
The union leader, however, appealed to the FCT minister to intervene in the payment of arrears of earlier teachers under the administration of the area councils. Shuaibu Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
For trending stories from the Center of Excellence, Adeola is standing by. Hello, Adeola.
Hello, Lami. As the strike embarked upon by railway workers enters day 2, the Mobolaji Johnson train station in Lagos is obviously missing the vibrancy that has become synonymous with it since commercial operation was activated on the standard gauge rail line. Although the chance of calling out the warning strike seems slim, management of the corporation is appealing to the workers that efforts to meet their demands are underway. Michael Olaleye reports.
This is the usual ambience that has defined the Mobolaji Johnson train station in Lagos as one of the fastest growing hubs in the country. Increase in passengers has translated to more round trips, but the warning strike by the railway workers has partially halted all activities here.
Now, we believe after this 3-day strike period, we will come on board. If you either minister would like you to come on board with us or the managing director of Nigerian Railway Corporation, we'll sit down together and reason together and know where to go again.
The worry of the management is that the timing is wrong, considering the ongoing revolution in the rail sector, which invariably will soon translate into improvement in the condition of service of workers. The managing director, while appealing to the workers to call off the strike, explained that the process of reviewing the workers' salary has commenced and steadily progressing.
Money is not everything. Peace and joy and what you provide for humanity overrides money. So we will work so that their welfare will be better off. That is a must. For all Nigerians, not just railway workers.
The Nigerian Railway Corporation has also responded to the increase in passengers and issues revolving around ticket racketeering with the presentation of the outline business case certificate that will enable the corporation adopt the e-ticketing template on the Lagos-Ibadan rail line. With the array of growth prospects, the mandate before the corporation is to ensure that access to rail service is not disrupted beyond the warning strike. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NT News.
Respiratory viruses, experts say, are prevalent in this era of COVID-19 and needs to be tackled by scaling up research to improve understanding of case management of outbreaks. The relentless pandemic and its accompanying challenges in the country places stakeholders on the alert. Pulmonary disease, which affects the lungs and other parts of the respiratory system, is mostly caused by tobacco smoking and other forms of air pollution. This informed the theme of this hybrid conference, as respiratory disease constitutes an important proportion of the global health burden.
This pandemic is affecting patient care, it's affecting the practice of medicine, affecting in particular the practice of respiratory medicine.
And we need to position ourselves in a way that we will be supportive of all the efforts of the government, at bringing, limiting the transmission.
Minister of Health State, represented, said in these unprecedented times, there must be no compromise in the management of patients with acute respiratory illness who require collaborative and multidisciplinary approach.
Nigeria is currently among the 22 countries in the world with the highest TB burden.
Dr. Chikwe Ihekwazu, Assistant Director General World Health Organization, virtually comments on preparing for the next pandemic, the patient, the practice.
The assumption is that respiratory viruses will play a big role in this, and we have to think through how that can be done. However, there are things and challenges that we now know that we have to really focus on.
Pulmonary disease experts also stated that increasing awareness on the impact of environmental pollution should be the responsibility of all. Let's now take a short break. The news continues with Mina in Enugu thereafter.
The 2021 I Am Nigeria Awards is here.
This epoch-making dinner and award ceremony comes as a shining light of hope against the many fears and doubts around us as a people in this great nation, Nigeria. This year's edition of the awards will lift hopes and strengthen courage as the works and efforts of a great number of industrious and result-oriented Nigerians and brands will be recognized and appreciated. One of such recognitions is the I Am Nigeria COVID-19 Special Commendation Award. This category of award will recognize and appreciate organizations and individuals whose effort and selfless service helped in mitigating the spread and the impact of a COVID-19 in Nigeria. This event will hold on the 20th of November 2021 at the Sheraton Hotel, Abuja. Time 4 p.m.
The Budweiser Game of Kings is finally here. Watch the battles who beat all battles live. La Liga's Roberto Carlos and Premier League's John Terry will be going head-to-head while playing alongside our very own MPFL players. So come join us on NTA Network and Budweiser's social media network on Saturday, November 20th at exactly 12 p.m.
Niger, it's on. Game of Kings is brought to you by Budweiser, the official sponsors of the EPL and La Liga.
One country, one peaceful people, united in diversity.
We are great Nigerians.
Let's be peaceful.
We refuse to be manipulated by desperados and instigators.
We cannot succeed without your cooperation.
A peaceful and united Nigeria is possible. Join us in one voice, one love and unity. As we march around the 36 states of Nigeria, including the FCT, for national peace and unity campaign.
Babban taron Najeriya domin dawo da soyayya a tsakanin 'yan Najeriya.
When the power of love overcomes the love for power.
For our country, Nigeria. Together we stand.
This message is brought to you by the ambassadors of Voice of Change Initiative, supported by Nigerian Television Authority (NTA) and Federal Capital Territory (FCT).
The Hammers will be hoping to continue their winnings. Travel to Wolverhampton. Will the Wolves throw a spanner in their works? This Saturday, it's Wolverhampton versus West Ham United on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 3:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu and powered by Integral.
The Budweiser Game of Kings is finally here. Watch the battles who beat all battles live. La Liga's Roberto Carlos and Premier League's John Terry will be going head-to-head while playing alongside our very own MPFL players. So come join us on NTA Network and Budweiser's social media network on Saturday, November 20th at exactly 12 p.m.
Niger, it's on. Game of Kings is brought to you by Budweiser, the official sponsors of the EPL and La Liga.
Good evening and welcome to Enugu. While construction work at the Ababati Junction flyover project in Enugu State is being intensified to meet the December deadline, the 2.85-kilometer Nkwong-Nike-Umuchigbe Road, one of the bypass created in the area, has been asphalted and inaugurated by the Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. Susan Eze has the details.
With the inauguration of this 2.85-kilometer diversion from the Abakpati Junction Nike Lake Road, road users in the area would no doubt experience some ease from the difficulties occasioned by the closure of the major road since the commencement of the flyover project. For the people of Nike community, including the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, this development is very much appreciated.
We thank the Excellency for the roads he constructed for us.
I believe the Nige people will come up again to show our appreciation, just to tell you that we are happy.
The road project, which brings up the total mileage of roads done by this administration in the area to 66 kilometers, according to Governor Ugwuanyi, is in line with the agenda of opening up the hinterlands to stimulate economic growth in the state.
It's also a deliberate effort to revitalize parts of Enugu metropolis that have been delighted by the decay in their infrastructure, facilitate investment, inspire private development, and stimulate economic growth under administration's urban renewal initiative.
The governor inspected the ongoing flyover project. Awarded in March this year, the flyover project has a contract duration of 1 year. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
The need to promote harmony between the National Youth Service Corps NYSC management and core employers have been emphasized to ensure effective utilization of corps members and promote national development. Chika Ugu reports that this was a thrust of the 2021 NYSC Core Employers Workshop held in Enugu State.
This workshop
workshop, which attracted various employers of labor, including government officials, was a platform for stakeholders to discuss common problems faced by employers and corps members and proffer solutions. This is to improve the welfare of corps members and ensure the benefits of corps service are properly harnessed.
We have to deliberate on practical means of protecting corps members from harassment from unscrupulous elements in the communities where they are serving, and come out with a lasting solution for the overall security of corps members in all the local government areas in the state.
Increasing rejection of corps members, delay in applying for the service of corps members, lack of provisions for statutory welfare needs, inadequate provisions for security, and inhuman treatment of corps members were identified as some of the shortcomings of corps employers. The Director General, NYSC, who was represented further called for collective efforts of key players and corps members to achieve the scheme's goal of promoting national unity and accelerated socio-economic development of the nation.
The NYSC Management and Corps Employers Forum has enabled both parties to continually enhance our capacity for effective engagement of corps members.
Meanwhile, the Enugu State government says it has continued to provide conducive environment for corps members in the state. The workshop afforded participants the opportunity to make complaints and suggestions on ways to properly utilize corps members in rendering qualitative and efficient services. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
And that's a bit from here. It's back to Lami in Abuja for a continuation of Nation World.
Many thanks, Mina. Now, Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State has presented over 180 billion naira as 2022 proposed budget to the State House of Assembly for approval. The governor said the proposed appropriation is tagged the budget of economic consolidation. Usman Abdullahi has more.
Guided by the strategic objectives of the State Development Plan 2021 to 2025, which are improving governance towards focusing on institutions by more accountability, rule of law, transparency, and efficiency that delivers quality social services to Kebbi State.
Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu said the budget aimed to enhance agriculture, mineral resources productivity, finance and services to improve income generation, food security and poverty reduction. Of the proposed 189,237,459,798 naira and 27 kobo, over 128 billion naira, representing 68%, is for capital expenditure, while over 61 billion naira, which account for 32% of the total budget, is for the recurrent expenditure. The governor equally acknowledged the state's tremendous performance in the 2021 budget against all odds and the contribution of all stakeholders to the possibility of the 2022 budget. The Speaker, Kebbi State House of Assembly, Muhammad Abubakar Lolo, congratulated the governor for yet again a successful state budget presentation, promising speedy scrutiny and passage of the appropriation bill. Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
In line with the federal government's commitments to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty, more than 40,000 beneficiaries of conditional cash transfer have smiled home in Nasarawa State with 30,000 naira each. Abari Solomon reports.
Recommencement of payment of stipends to beneficiaries of federal government household uplifting program conditional cash transfer is to sustain the federal government drive of providing support for poor and vulnerable citizens. The beneficiaries who were overwhelmed said the program from inception has changed their lives and improved their income, and salute the federal government for initiating the scheme.
The support I'm getting from federal government is really helping my business.
Nasarawa State Focal Person Social Investment Program, Umran Usman Jibrin said so far over 1 billion naira has been disbursed in the state and more beneficiaries are expected to be enrolled. It will be recalled that the federal government initiated the program to, among other things, provide livelihood support and encourage beneficiaries to be self-reliant and contribute to the economic growth and development of the nation. In Lafia, Abari Solomon, NTA News.
Sokoto is where we go next, and Asma'u is standing by with reports from that end. Hi, Asma'u, how are you?
Thank you, Lami. Good evening and a warm welcome to Sokoto. The Director General, National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Salihu Ibrahim, has called on the employers of Corps members in the country to prioritize the security of lives and property of Corps members in their places of primary assignment. He made the call at the flag-off of one-day workshop on the NYSC Corps Employers 2021, organized by the Youth Service Corps in Sokoto. Sheikh Muhammad Dati completes the report.
The one-day workshop brought together government officials and proprietors of private schools, among others. The aim is to discuss the contributions of the National Youth Service Corps to national development and challenges of the scheme. Director General, Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Shabi Ibrahim, represented by the Acting Director Procurement from the National Office of the organization, described Corps members as agents of change who are contributing immensely to national development, stressing the need to strengthen the scheme, especially with the security challenges and COVID-19 pandemic.
So with this, when Corps employers, when they give enough welfare to their Corps members and they have assured them of their security, the Corps members too should return to the right thing.
The NYSC Governing Board, Sokoto State, reiterates commitment of the state government towards providing conducive environment for the Corps members to carry out their one-year mandatory service effectively.
The employers, we have always been calling on them to hold these people as their normal employees, thus working with them. They should give them all the opportunities that is needed. They should give them all the assistance to render their services to humanity in their places of assignment.
There were a presentation on the improvement of Corps members' welfare and security for optimal productivity, as well as the role of Corps employers as catalyst for effective service, among others. The theme for the 2021 workshop is optimizing the NYSC Corps partnership for national development in the context of the new normal. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Dati, NTA News.
The APC World Congress Appeal Committee for Zamfara State has pledged to be just and fair to aggrieved members in the best interest of the party's unity and progress. Secretary of the committee, Usman Muhammad, made the pledge while speaking with journalists at the State APC Secretariat. So, Jamilu Ibrahim has more.
The five-man appeal committee sent by the All Progressives Congress National Headquarters, led by Hanna Adam Ali, has commenced its assignment since on Monday this week at the Zamfara State APC Secretariat Gusau. Secretary of the committee, Usman Muhammad, who briefed journalists on the journey so far, said they had not yet received any petition on the APC World Congresses across the state. Usman Muhammad, however, advised anybody who feels aggrieved over the congresses to come forward and submit their complaint to the committee for appropriate action.
I urge all members of the parties, in the best interest of justice, in the best interest of the unity of the party, should come before us. Let's hear them out. Let's address issues. Whoever is involved, whoever, when I said whoever, I mean whoever is involved in the matter, will address the issue.
The Zamfara State APC Appeal Committee Secretary said unity and progress of the party remains their utmost priority.
And we are assuring members of the public and all members of the All Progressive Congress that we are going to do justice to all their complaints if brought before us. And once it is not before us, we cannot act on nothing.
In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
And that is our package from Sokoto. We'll now take a short break, and Nationwide will continue with Lami in Abuja thereafter. Good evening.
The Budweiser Game of Kings is finally here. Watch the battles to beat all battles live. La Liga's Roberto Carlos and Premier League's John Terry will be going head-to-head while playing alongside our very own MPFL players. So come join us on NTA Network and Budweiser's social media network on Saturday, November 20th at exactly 12 p.m.
Niger, it's on. Game of Kings is brought to you by Budweiser, the official sponsors of the EPL and La Liga.
from history is history. So either you know it or you don't.
My advice to the younger generation is that they should learn from what we have started and what we have left.
I did things that ordinarily I should not have been doing. What that meant was that I was working hard.
Whatever assignment you are given in life, put in your best.
The military years were a disaster.
Smoldering effects of all that is what we are trying to cure.
The Budweiser Game of Kings is finally here. Watch the battles to beat all battles live. La Liga's Roberto Carlos and Premier League's John Terry will be going head-to-head while playing alongside our very own MPFL players. So come join us on NTA Network and Budweiser's social media network on Saturday, November 20th at exactly 12 p.m.
Niger, it's on. Game of Kings is brought to you by Budweiser, the official sponsors of the EPL and La Liga.
Thank you for staying tuned. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has formally broken his silence and demands in some quarters for unconditional release of the prescribed IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, currently standing trial, saying doing so runs contrary to the doctrine of separation of powers between the executive and the judiciary. This was while receiving a group under the auspices of highly respected Igbo greats, led by the First Republic parliamentarian and Minister of Aviation, Chief Mbazulike Amechi. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the report.
The 93-year-old statesman, Chief Mbazulike Amechi, had described the situation in the southeast as painful and pathetic, lamenting that businesses have collapsed, education is crumbling, and there is fear everywhere. During the closed-door engagement, Chief Amechi pleaded for a political rather than military solution, requesting that if Nnamdi Kanu is released to him as the only First Republic minister still alive, he would no longer say the things he had been saying, stressing that he could control him. The Nigerian said twice he had interfaced with Nnamdi Kanu in the past, and the latter rescinded orders earlier given on civil disobedience. He concluded that he doesn't want to leave this planet without peace, returning to his country, maintaining that he believes in one big, united Nigeria, a force in Africa. Chief Amechi told President Buhari that he wants him to be remembered as a person who saw Nigeria burning and quenched the fire. President Muhammadu Buhari told his guests that they have made an extremely difficult demand on him as leader of the country. The implication of their request, he said, is very serious. The president takes pride in the fact that since coming to power in the last 6 years, nobody would say he had confronted or interfered in the work of the judiciary. He told the leader of the highly respected Igbo greats that God has not only spared and given him a clear head at this age, but also very sharp memory, saying a lot of people half his age are confused already. The demand made, President Buhari said, is heavy, concluding, however, that he would consider it. The president said when Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail, got arrested, and brought back to the country, his position remains he be subjected to the system to make his case in court instead of giving very negative impressions of the country from outside. The president feels it's even a favor to give him that opportunity. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The federal government has assured the youth of the Niger Delta region of the new focus of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, and completing all abandoned projects and initiating developmental programs to empower the people, especially the youth. The Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, said this while hosting the delegation of the Niger Delta Ethnic Nationalities Youth Leaders Council, who paid him a courtesy visit.
President Muhammadu Buhari has initiated reforms that will affect the region positively. There is a new focus, because no matter how much money we share, we will spend the money, but the infrastructure that we build can lead to investment and can also assist the region in terms of empowerment and entrepreneurship.
The group, while commending the federal government for the forensic audit exercise of the NDDC, expressed the hope that the report will be made public in order to expose offenders and recover money looted from the commission.
Commend the president on the Ogoni cleanup, while we urging him to extend the exercise to other parts of the Niger Delta. At the recent meeting of COP26 in Glasgow, the president made a commitment towards the full realization of the objective of the climate change in 2060, which is a very long time. We wish to call on Mr. President to direct the oil companies to pay compensation to host community before the 2060 deadline.
Other issues raised by the group included constitution of NDDC board with new terms of reference and special financial intervention for the East-West Road, among others. Now, the Guards Brigade of the Nigerian Army has commenced exercise Enduring Peace to curb security threats associated with the Ember period. The exercise that spans through Abuja, Kefi in Nasarawa State and parts of other neighboring states is aimed at stemming criminality and boosting socio-economic activities within the brigade's general area of responsibility. In a message, the Commander Guards Brigade, Brigadier General Mohammed Usman, enjoined the residents of the Federal Capital Territory and environs to cooperate with security agencies to secure their environments.
Where we are operating, we tend to support them and carry them along in whatever we do. So this distribution of exercise book to the pupils of this school is part of activities lined up in the CIMIC phase of the exercise. So you will get to see us do more of this distribution in other places, medical outreach.
Military relations activities included community development projects. And the residents of Queen Elizabeth Road, Ibadan, capital of Oyo State, are still awed by the fire incident that occurred close to NT Ibadan when a tanker laden with petrol fell on the road, spilling its contents. Lanre Gbele reports that the governor, Seyi Makinde, was at the scene of the incident to assess the level of damage.
A petrol tanker caught fire on motion around 8 in the evening of Thursday night as the driver maneuvered, which caused it to overturn, spilling fuel all over the surroundings. It took the timely intervention of fire service to curb the inferno.
Now, this is the tanker laden with fuel, and I'm told there's still a little bit of fuel inside it. And if you look at the fence of the NTA, you'll see how close this incident was to the NTA building. And it was not a joke yesterday when this incident happened. Staff have to run for their lives. That is the staff on duty. They have to run for their life because the incident, the fire was massive. The governor for your state, Seyi Makinde, was here to assess the level of the incident, and this is what he said when we interviewed him.
We kept talking about having roadworthiness certificates, especially for trucks, tankers. An incident like this just happened in Ogun State 2 or 3 days ago, and now this. So something definitely has to be done.
I have with me here one of the victims of the fire incident, Mr. Tolani. Oscar is right behind us. Mr. Tolani, you are there. How did it happen that you are directly behind the incident?
I gave the truck driver a space to get into line because he was trying to get into the road. So I gave him a space. As he took the head of the car out, I saw the fire at the back of the truck. Then the next thing I could do was to park, and because I was on Uber, I do Uber for a living, I was on ride, so I had to just park and The next thing I saw was that the driver jumped off the truck.
As at the time of filing in this report, men of the fire service and security personnel are still on ground to monitor the situation. From Ibadan, Larry Belayi, NT News.
And that is the size of our package on Nationwide for today. We thank you for watching. Join us at 7 and 9 for more reports. Remember to always join the NCA in the campaign against rape and rapists. I am Lami Ali.
This vaccine is safe and it has been certified safe and usable by NAFTA.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take his pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not